Let's go for a ride. How do I look?
Pretty great.
Oh man. Starts up just like a Toyota would. With authority. Oh man.
Never sat in the passenger seat before.
It's a totally different experience, right?
It totally is.
I love these old backlit gauges with the super thin needles. I think
Super thin needles. As you can see, the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge, the needles have died. The gauges still work.
Oh, right. So you gotta get your flashlight out if you want to see them at night.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is kind of a boss car. I could see a Japanese businessman going to see his mistress in this car.
There you go.
Picking her up at the mall or whatever.
Taking her to the Love Hotel.
The Love Hotel, exactly.
Away from home.
It's so low in this car.
I like it. It's a very, it's a different driving position.
You know, I'm getting a real BMW sense of like weight and luxury.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. It's even now it's tight. Even it's so old. Like for what it is, it's the steering is actually pretty nice, and the suspension is actually not terrible either. But once we refresh it all, it's gonna be that much better. And this is just like, what is this room for? Is it roadhead like space here? Like
something like that. I don't know. It's a really different sort of design.
It's way out of the way. You kind of have to lean forward.
Yeah, it's weird too on the passenger side. I guess I haven't really noticed just how it comes down, and it's just very different.
Yeah. Room to drink and be wild and flail your arms around, or
all those good things.
Legs up, something like that. All right. Yeah. Do you know how much this car weighs about?
You know, I don't. Not off the top of my head. I'd imagine quite a lot. Just, I mean, you think of, it's a heavy car based on construction, based on all the material you have. It's a V8. I don't know.
Yeah, I can really sense the weight in it.
Definitely has some heft to it.
So what do we got here? We've got drive and then second gear.
Drive, second gear, you have your overdrive button on the stock. You can put it in power mode.
Power mode. Whoa.
For the electronically controlled transmission.
No kidding. Do you feel the difference?
You know, I haven't really, not really. I think it just remaps the shift points somewhat.
Wow, like I just kind of floored it there, and it didn't even downshift above 3,000 RPM.
Huh.
It's really not aggressive.
It's not.
But maybe if I put it into power mode.
Maybe.
Let's do that on the way back. God, the road is so busy today.
It is. It was really busy getting here.
This is the place to be. Center of the universe.
Nothing quite like West Seattle. I really do enjoy it here.
I like that you get an oh shit handle as a driver.
Driver's side.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's probably to help you get out of the car. It's probably helpful for old people. Maybe that's what it's for. Is
and you know, so many old people bought it here too. It was like what this car was. You know, it was just single family owned, Queen Anne.
All right. Yeah. It really just, the power builds slowly, but it just keeps building and building. And I got it up to like close to $5,000. And that's as much pull as you need in this car to really be kind of dangerous. But I don't think that's what this car is really all about. It's just to have no problems and to really just be awesome.
Yeah. So it weighs, the 92 SC400 weighs 3,600 pounds.
36, yeah. That sounds about right. And that's not too bad by today's standards, I guess.
I guess that's true. We see a lot of cars that tip the scales at over 4 now.
Yeah. What a cruiser. It's so quiet too. Like the engine, like we could hardly hear it when I was accelerating before. Time for some rotors.
Yeah, no kidding.
Steering wheel shaking.
That just started happening recently too.
Yeah.
More things to do.
Yep. Add it to the list.
It's interesting though with this car, it's really different, you know, especially after owning a brand new FRS and going back to this early 90s. There really is something to be said about the simplicity and just being happy with what you have, you know?
Yep.
And there's some comfort in that. It's
so many cool things were happening in the 90s. Like it kind of all came together with all the technology of the chassis, the drivetrain, and the styling. Like,
yeah.
I'll probably never get out of the 90s as far as my car buying experiences. At least the favorite cars that I've owned. But I think the FRS is one of those cars that really heralds back to the 90s while moving forward still. Like the Miata was still trying to be like I think they were looking at the Miata and cars like that. And the original AE86, which was like the dawn of the 90s, you know, like the late 80s.
Right.
Inexpensive, but this is like what the bigwigs were putting together. I like it.
Something different.
Yeah, it is. And it can be had for pennies on the dollar these days. So cool.
Down to Alki a second time for like happy hour or something.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we're here until like 8:30 or something, like let's go watch the sunset.
That would be great.
In the G ride. So let's see what we got for suspension. I'm assuming the shocks are obviously okay. There they are.
Just stock replacements. And
Stock
then
replacement KYBs. What else do we have?
Those are the rack cushions.
Steering rack cushions.
So they'll be an upgrade over stock too. Just I mean it's a, you know, as you drove it, it's a pretty hefty car.
Yeah.
So tightening things up doesn't hurt.
Yeah, shock mounts are always good to do when you have them on the rack anyway.
It's like that would be my luck, right? Replace the suspension and then have a shock mount go. Yeah, exactly. Go bad on me.
Right after you do. So front and rear, right?
Front and rear.
Perfect. Yep. And so these springs should take us down a little bit over an inch in the front, and then a little under an inch in the back.
That's what they say, yeah. So they're the NF210. So it's the mildest drop I could find. Again, I was torn with just going to Mark IV, but I think these will actually work out really pretty nicely.
And they're red.
They're red.
They're red.
Not that goes with anything on the car.
Green is my favorite spring color.
Yeah.
Red is my second favorite spring color. And yeah, they're not barrel type. They're progressive rate, which is nice. Actually, these are linear. Yeah. I wonder, are those the front or the rear?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, these are progressive, maybe just a little bit. But yeah.
Just firm things up a little bit. I mean, they say it's only a 5% increase in spring rate, I think.
Yeah, no need to go overboard. I mean, it's.
No.
When are you going to be tracking this automatic luxury
Never.
missile? Exactly.
At least.
Yeah, this is going to be the most like gratifying, satisfying part of the work is probably getting that angry engine sound. But again, you went easy.
Yeah, there was like, so there were a couple places. There was, I tracked down a site that was still selling the, what is it? It's a 5-Zigen Super Mega Fireball catback, which looks amazing, sounds amazing, but was $1,100. I'm like, I can't justify it as bad as I want. And then, other than that, there's like a Megan Racing axleback, and then there's this, which looks good, sounds good, and is mellow, throaty, like, and looks way better too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the medallion. Yeah. Gorgeous.
And it's actually, yeah, it's good quality. Actually, made in Japan.
Actually
No
made in Japan.
Factory.
Right. There it is. Today's fun out of the box. Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. I think that so much of that, even today, there's such an interest in Japanese cars, but I think a lot of that is really lost in the whole obsession with stance and things like that. And it's just, I mean, these people aren't even really creative, right? It's a simple formula. Slam your car, big wheels.
But all the work that went into designing this car, like the
People don't appreciate it.
flagship models of this time in this area when everything was budding and everybody was looking at each other.
Yeah.
And to find such a beautiful example, you've really done well. I mean, you had old MR2s and
Yeah.
you're all about the 90s.
That's the thing, I can't leave, just like you said.
So these tires are 16 years old.
Actually 16 years old.
16-year-old rubber that is actually soft.
Just takeoffs from, a Mark IV Supra.
And why are these wheels in such perfect condition?
I'm really surprised. There's curb rash, but the guy, I guess, only ran them on his Supra for I think he said 40-something thousand miles, and then he upgraded. He had an NA Supra, and he put twin turbo wheels on it, so they just sat in his garage ever since.
Cool. Well, let's get them off and take a look at what we're up against. There it is. What we're after right here. And yeah, Mark IV Supra suspension.
Yeah.
Everything in full effect. Get my flashlight out so you can see some stuff. Yeah. There's the oil filter, nice and handy. The drain plug. But yeah, steel lower or maybe aluminum, but definitely aluminum upper control arm. Beautiful. Look at that beefy subframe, all aluminum. Plenty of camber correction.
Yeah.
Please resist the temptation.
Trust me, I will.
Yeah, true V8 style exhaust. Could be thicker, but
Could be.
little resonators, and then right back to the exhaust, right back to the mufflers. A beautiful multi-link with a brilliant upper control arm. Look at the design there. Yeah, it's got an A-arm at the top and then multi-link on the bottom. That's an interesting design. Pretty big rear sway bar, too.
Yeah, that is pretty hefty, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, well, let's get busy. And in the next chapter, yeah, I'll probably just be working.